Recording in progress.
Good? Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to the Los Angeles Continuum of Care Board special meeting. Today is Monday, August 24th, 2026. We're going to begin by calling roll to establish quorum. We'll start with our SPA representative. SPA 1, Sarah Perry. SPA 2, Kimberly Roberts.
Present.
SPA 3, Paula Lance. SPA 4, Myung Kim. SPA 5, Christine Marazi Glasgow. SPA 6, Ben Kay.
Present.
SPA 7, Tomas Babiskowitz. SPA 8, Nancy Wilcox. Okay. Going to our system partner representatives, Meg Barclay, CAO. Liz Benishai, HSH. Jack Gorham, DMH. Jennifer Kotke, LACO. Marcy Vega, HACLA. Michael Williams, LACDA. Sophia Rice, LAHSA.
Here.
Okay. Finally, our at-large representatives, Josh DeSalle, Amina Parker, Suzette Shaw, Reba Stevens,
Present.
and Renee Williams. We have quorum. Just some light housekeeping items before we turn the meeting over to the chair. We are recording today's meeting, timed out the agenda items, so we'll be managing that. Again, as always, for board members, make sure you turn your name cards on their side to indicate you wish to speak during discussion. And for members of the public joining us in person or online, you are welcome to provide
Just hang on
public
a sec.
comment.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry. We need to have one conversation at a time. Thank you so much. Thank you.
For members of the public, if you're in person or online, you're welcome to provide public comment on any agenda item. For in-person public comment, you just need to submit a request to speak form, which is out front, and you can provide them to any of the LAHSA staff that are in the room. And then if you're on Zoom, there should be a raise hand button that you can click to indicate that you wish to speak, and the board chair will call on you at the appropriate time. I think next we're going to go into our land acknowledgement and labor acknowledgements. So our land acknowledgement, LAHSA acknowledges our presence and work on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Gabrielino, Tongva, Kizh peoples, the Fernandino, Tatatviam peoples, and the Chumash peoples. LAHSA acknowledges the native peoples of this land as the land caretakers of our region. We acknowledge that homelessness did not exist before colonization of this land, genocide, and governmental policies of erasure and land and wealth dispossession. We express our deep gratitude for the ancestors, elders, and protectors, past, present, and emerging, who steward this land. LAHSA labor acknowledgement. LAHSA recognizes and acknowledges the labor upon which our country, state, and institution are built. We remember that our country was built on the labor of enslaved people who were kidnapped and brought to the U.S. from the African continent, and recognize the continued contribution of their survivors. We also acknowledge all immigrant and indigenous labor, including voluntary, involuntary, trafficked, forced, and undocumented peoples who contributed to the building of the country and continue to serve within our labor force. We recognize that our country is continuously defined, supported, and built by oppressed communities and peoples. We acknowledge labor inequities and the shared responsibility for combating oppressive systems in our daily work.
Thank you, Jess. As always, thank you to our LAHSA staff who support today's meeting. Incredibly appreciative for you all. So good to be with you all again. It feels like we haven't been together in a while because we've had a bit of a breather, as it were. We only have 3 agenda items today. They are significant, though. And so, as always, my goal is to keep us on topic, to keep us moving through the really important conversations that we're going to have today as a board. And so we're going to get started with agenda item 1.0. This is general public participation on non-agenda items. I am going to check and see. I've got one in the room request, and so we'll go to Elizabeth Burks, and then I'll check and see if we have any online. And then you'll have 2 minutes for public comment.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. COC board members, community as well. My name is Elizabeth Burks. I'm here on behalf of not only Better Angels, but also as an LA County resident with lived experience. Just first and foremost, want to thank you all for your diligence, all the hard work you all have done so far, and in being so quick and expedient in making sure that we get this process started immediately. So I just wanted to come to express three concerns, not concerns, but more so friendly advice from one community member to another. As you all are considering the assessment process that you're going to put together per Judge Carter's order, I'd like to strongly urge you to, one, consider the importance of identifying local entities during your assessment process to protect the integrity
Hey,
of...
Elizabeth, I'm so sorry to stop you. So this is public participation on non-agenda items.
Oh, okay.
We actually have that item agendized at
Okay.
the end of the meeting. So if you have other things to share just generally, I will pause your time and I'll give you some more time.
Okay.
But if you have something specific on the assessment process, that's 3.0, and that'll be in the meeting.
Just wanted to say hello, happy Monday. I'll be back.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Appreciate that. Do we have any public participation online on non-agenda items for today?
We do not have any public participation.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you again to our public comment. We will be back on that particular topic at the end of the meeting. Yes.
So just curious, does the young lady or anyone sitting in the audience have to wait a whole 2 hours and then come back to speak?
Yes. So for item 1.0, it's public participation on non-agenda items. And so because that particular topic is being covered in the agenda later, we're making sure that any public comment per the Brown Act is actually during that period of the meeting. Yep. Thank you for the question, Suzette. I really appreciate that. Alrighty, at this time I'm going to move us into agenda item 2.0. This is notice of closed session, conference with legal counsel. This is for existing litigation pursuant to paragraph 1, subdivision D, Government Code section 5495691 case. Los Angeles Homeless Service Authority v. Donald J. Trump et al., United States Central District Court, case number 2:26-CV-07056. We are going to reconvene and report on closed session after this item. Then we will go into agenda item 3.0. So at this time, we're going to stop the Zoom recording. Any members of the public and non-essential staff will exit, and it'll give us a couple minutes to get set up for closed session. The board did not take action in closed session. And I'm going to move us on to agenda item 3.0. This is our last agenda item for today. This is a discussion on court-ordered assessment process for the LACOC's collaborative applicant, HMIS lead, CES coordinator, and PIT count administrator. And so what I'd like to do is just give a little bit of context, both to those joining us in the room and then those joining us online around this item. And so Judge Carter, in his ruling, which was filed on August 13th, issued several orders, but one of the orders was specific to the Los Angeles continuum of care. And I'm just going to read it in its entirety because I think it's really important just for context on what is before the board. Yeah, I think if you go back a couple slides, there may be. Okay, all right. As we find the slide, I'll just read it out in its entirety. So this is from the court-ordered third. The LACOC is ordered to give notice forthwith that it is accepting applications for collaborative applicant, HMIS lead, CES coordinator, and PIT count administrator for the fiscal year 2027 COC nationwide grant competition. HUD is ordered to then evaluate the applicant or applicants chosen by the LACOC. Within 60 days of this order, by October 13th, 2026, the LACOC shall file a written report with the court summarizing its evaluation of all entities that have applied to be the collaborative applicant, HMIS lead, CES coordinator, and PIC count administrator for the fiscal year 2027 COC nationwide grant competition. HUD shall then also file a written response regarding the LACOC's evaluation of the applicant pool within 7 days by October 20th, 2026. Can you go to the next slide? Yep, thank you so much. Okay, so that is the context from Judge Carter's ruling specifically to this body, the COC and the COC board. And so just a couple of considerations I want to lift up to us today. The first off is timing. 60 days is to put it as generously as I can, a very optimistic timeline for the amount of work that this assessment would need. And so this is a really important consideration for us as we're thinking about this process, is the timing. As of today, we're at 50 days before this would be due. The second consideration that's really important for this board is the scale and the scope. Each of these functions are incredibly significant in their impact to our continuum of care, to the system that we operate. Just one of these alone, HMIS, is an incredibly significant function of our system. Currently, all of these functions are delegated to LAHSA to carry out, but the scope of this is system-wide. And it doesn't just impact the LACOC. This also, for example, with HMIS, impacts our sister COCs here in Los Angeles County, Glendale, Pasadena, Long Beach, right? It's a significant scale and scope. The other consideration that I want to lift up as we're considering the court order is our conflicts. And so we as a board have a process around recusal if any one of us has a conflict. But that is a really important consideration that we have in this moment, is that as organizations in Los Angeles lift their hands to apply for one of these functions, if there are members of the boards who are connected to that organization, that also is going to present a really strong consideration for us. Go to the next slide. So just a couple quick updates here. So this order was handed down 10 days ago, and so I just want to give you, as our board and members of the public who are joining us in person and online, just a quick update. Myself as chair, Josh Giselle as vice chair, there's been some conversations that we've been having as we are taking steps to move forward in this process to be in compliant with the court order. And the first step is that we've been having conversations with different entities who could support the board in this assessment process. And so those conversations have happened over the last week. And because of, again, the scale, the scope, the timing, the potential conflicts to the board, we think having additional support through independent consultants who are able to have a deep understanding of how we operate as a continuum, the nuances of Los Angeles, is really important to the board being successful through this process. So those conversations have been happening. The second thing is that there's been multiple conversations around funding that would be needed in order for the board and the COC to move forward in these relationships with independent consultants to support in this assessment process. And so there's been really significant ground that's been made in those discussions that myself as chair and our vice chair Josh have had. And we are close to identifying and securing funding to support in this assessment process, again, towards us meeting the court order in the time frame that's been identified by Judge Carter. And then finally, and this is a bit technical, getting in the weeds, but the COC historically has had a very close relationship with our collaborative applicant LAHSA. But one of the things that we are pursuing as part of this conversation is actually building out a independent website and digital platform for the Los Angeles Continuum of Care that is independent, that's standalone. And so we have had conversations and we actually have commitments from some partners towards building out a dynamic website for the Los Angeles Continuum of Care where if we, again, move forward with this process in order to meet the court order, we would be able to house these different functions around the assessment process, as well as the other required pieces per the Brown Act on our own digital platform that is separate and independent to the COC. I'd love to turn it over to our Vice Chair if there's any additional updates to share as far as the conversations we've had or where we're at right now.
No. I
Thank
think
you, Josh.
you pretty well covered it. It's been really great working side by side with you and figuring out how to lead the board and the continuum through an incredibly challenging order that's been put in front of us.
Thanks, Josh. Really appreciate that. At this time, I'll take any questions or comments from any members of the board around what we've shared, either from Judge Carter's order or the timeline or anything else. Yeah, Liz.
Thanks, Liz Benishai with HSH. It's great that you found funding for the website. What is the timing for that? And since that's been secured, I understand that some of the other elements are in progress. Is it possible to share where that funding is coming from?
Yeah, so we've secured funding. We're having a conversation with the company as of Wednesday this week, and we're going to be further communicating with them around the specific need we have for the actual website. And so that is going to be happening really hopefully this week, that we'll have those pieces lined up. Yeah. Thoughts here, Josh?
I don't think right now.
Yeah, at this point, the agreements have been communicated, and as soon as we have something that's kind of completely solidified, we'll bring that back to both the board and the public as well.
Is there an actual agreement between the COC board and this entity, or it's just an informal agreement?
It's a soft commitment at this point, which is why we're not disclosing that at this moment.
Yeah. All commitments that we've reached will have all the formal elements that are needed. And so because of just the timeline that we've been having these conversations, that formality will just take a couple days to work out. But our goal is to have those formalized this week. It's a great question. Thanks, Liz. Suzette.
So, as a Skid Row resident, one of the things, we've been asking of the county with the work that's been going on in our community is a public dashboard. So a website that, really kind of shows the public dashboard of the funding, where the funding is going, related to what particular whatever. And I would just request that, there's some form of a public dashboard so that the public is aware of where our monies are coming from and how they are being distributed throughout this legalese process.
Thanks, Suzette. Appreciate that feedback. Any other clarifying questions or comments from the board on this item? No? All right, with that, I will go to public comment, and we do have one public comment in the room, Miss Elizabeth Burks. And again, publicly, I want to thank you for remaining with us and for providing your public comments now. Really appreciate it. You'll have 2 minutes.
No problem. I was saying a prayer for y'all while I was waiting. Hello again. My name is Elizabeth Burks. I'm the Director of Partnerships with Better Angels. We are a homelessness services and prevention nonprofit based in Los Angeles County, founded by Adam Miller and Stacy Miller. And again, thank you. I said that earlier. So just again, I know you guys are dedicating a lot of time here, and I really appreciate everyone's commitment to providing solutions. Just in regard to Judge Carter's order, and particularly I'm thinking about the HMIS lead. Just want to strongly urge you all to consider the importance of identifying local entities during your assessment to protect the integrity of and implement the intentions of our local communities who know best the cultural lens and needs of LA County residents. Also, number 2, consider non-governmental neutral entities to oversee the HMIS tool to ensure true transparency and accountability that is not rooted in bias. 3, definitely want someone who is a tech expert, who has the track record of creating technology that is forward-thinking. And then I'll just add in a 4th bonus one. Just making sure that we are being open and having open hearts and not going with the same thing that we've done in the past. And the fact that there's 4 different areas that are outlined, it would be great to not have them all under one entity. That way we can have more checks and balances. So again, on behalf of Better Angels, but also as a resident with lived experience. So thank you all for your time.
Thank you so much for your comments. Really appreciate it. Do we have any public comments online?
We do not have any public comments online.
Alrighty. Well, with that being said, at 4:27, we are adjourned. Thank you all.